Welcome back, second graders. Today we're going to talk about sculpture. What kind of sculpture, actually? Relief sculpture. So that's a new word that I'm introducing in second grade. So a lot of you will remember what a sculpture is. Think about what you feel like a sculpture is right now. A sculpture in art is any artwork that is three-dimensional. So when you think about drawings or paintings that are two-dimensional, they are only concerned about the front or one side. That's what a drawing or painting is. But when you start getting into sculpture, suddenly the artist is concerned about many sides. A relief sculpture is a special kind of sculpture where you don't care about the back, though. Let me show you what that looks like through the artist Jeff Nishinake. Now, Jeff Nishinake is not a clay artist. We are going to be working in clay today, but he is a sculpture artist that works with paper, and he deals with relief sculptures. So let's take a look. So a relief sculpture, you don't care about the back. All you care about is the front and the other sides. So this is all paper that he has cut and bent and glued together to make this awesome tiger. He uses mostly just white paper when he makes his sculpture. That's his big ideas. And he does make things look super three-dimensional. And how it looks so three-dimensional is that when he bends the paper, you get these awesome shadows. So he likes to play with light and shadows on the paper to show what that relief sculpture actually looks like. Totally awesome. So here's another one of Jeff Nishinake's artworks. It's beautiful. And during an interview, the interviewer asked Jeff Nishinake, "How long did it take you for you to master your style or your artwork?" And Jeff very humbly said, "Actually, even though I look like an amazing artist, I guess." Um, I still have not quite mastered it. I still have a lot more to learn, and that's something that's so interesting about artists is that they're always learning and challenging themselves. I mean, he can be happy with something like this bridge is so beautiful and the lighting and everything is so interesting, and yet he still wants to learn more, which is really cool. Here's another one of his awesome pieces. This happens to be one of my favorite because it has so much great detail to it. And he talked in another interview to the interviewer about what led you to making art this way. And he said, actually, when I went to art school, I thought I wanted to be a painter and had to take this sculpture class. And he said, when I took the class, I realized how much I like sculpture and I like working in paper. And so he ended up being a paper sculptor artist rather than a painter, which he thought he was going to be. And he said, as a kid, riding around the neighborhood on my bike, using my imagination and just being outside was probably the best thing that I ever did to be a really good artist, which I thought was a really interesting answer. So this is what we're going to be doing today with thinking about relief sculpture. First of all, we have to think about what is clay because that's the material that we're working with. We're not working with paper. So as a second grader, hopefully you've remembered from year to year that what clay is made out of, and if not, we're going to practice it anyway. So clay is made from rocks, but not just any kind of rocks. It's rocks that have been crushed and crushed and crushed to the point where they can't get crushed anymore. So if you take a rock and you crush it, you get pebbles. If you crush the pebbles, you get sand, and you can still see the teeny tiny rocks in the sand. If you crush it even more, you get silt, which is kind of gritty, feels kind of rough on your hands, even muddy and rough. And then you crush the silt even more, and then you have the soft, smooth clay. And that's exactly what we're going to be working with. This is not clay. This is Play-Doh. This is mostly made of flour that you shouldn't eat because it's mixed with a lot of other stuff. Super smart stuff to work with at your house. Play-Doh. Modeling clay, super smart stuff. It's mostly made out of a soft wax, and then it never really does get hard. And then there's Fimo clay that's mostly made out of plastic. But if you bake it, then it melts and gets hard and then it stays that way. So this is all great ways to make sculpture, and these things are not clay. Even if they say modeling clay, they're not earthenware clay that we're using in the class. Earthenware clay comes from the earth, and it's small rocks. So this is what clay is not. So we're going to work with a white clay for this assignment. And if you're an in-class learner, you'll come to class and we'll do this assignment together. If you're a hybrid learner, you can get the clay from me. Excuse me, a distance learner, you can get the clay from me and you can make it at home and then bring it back so I can finish it off for you. So this is the wetware that we're going to be working with. What you'll do is we're going to get a nice slab, which is a nice even thickness of clay. Don't smush it or crush it or anything like that. We're just going to keep it nice and thick. This is too thin. That's nice and thick, and we're going to build out of this. You'll have a choice of things to use in class. You can use the heart shape, you can use the rectangle shape, or you can use the oval shape. And what you're going to do is use these shapes to put onto the slab and go ahead and cut it out to make a pocket. We have 2 holes in top to hold that pocket. So what we'll do now is, if you're in class, we'll get the clay from the back of the classroom. And if you're a distance learner, you can get the clay from me and make your sculptures and turn it back into me and watch the demo so you know how to go forth with the next set of instructions. All right, friends, thank you. Bye.